Things Gary does. This video is an explanation video of a previous video that I posted yesterday, and that video is Friendship. It's an animation that I did in high school. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend going and seeing that before watching this video, otherwise it'll make even less sense, but it'll make more sense because I'm explaining it. If you would like to watch that video, you can click here. Hold the pose. And I'm done. So like I said, Friendship, this animation, is an animation that I made with 3 of my friends during high school on Flash. And so it was just, you know, anything starts out at that age where you're just like, oh, let's play with this. Oh, look, we can make funny things happen. And you just keep going and keep going and keep going until it becomes something. And so, don't have a lot of time, and so I'm just gonna go right through it, and let's go. So first off, how about those graphics, huh? These are premium graphics, Flash circa 2005. Really high quality stuff, really great. This little red stick figure that you see is representing me, Gary, in 2005, which looked like this. Pretty great, huh? Pretty great. Love the hair, love the hair. And this yellow stick figure that just fell from the sky is Ryan, and he falls from the sky because it's so much easier to animate a character falling from the sky than actually just walking right over. Ryan, in 2005, looked like this. Now, funny thing, people always laugh when I walk over and kick Ryan in the head, but there's like no reaction when Ryan pulls the gun on me. And I just chalk it up to people being desensitized. Whoop. What is whoop? Whoop, it's actually pronounced whoop, and it is from the original Halo. And you know when you're playing Halo and you're going along and you come up against the bigger bad guys, the elites, and they didn't say any words really, but they did say, whoop, 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 whoop. And that's where that's from. It was just us. Whenever we'd be like doing something or running, we'd be like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Playing with fonts was like the best thing ever. Enter Dixon, who is dressed up in ninja garb. He's dressed up like a ninja because at this time, Dixon had bought some really neat little shoes that were ninja shoes. So they had like the 2 toes that would just come out. And they were big and black and big boots and stuff, and it was really cool, and he was really into ninjas and all this stuff. And so that's why Dixon is in ninja garb. Now, what Dixon actually looked like was this. How about that hair, huh? How about that hair? All of us had really great hair at that time. This part is also known as the greatest sword fight in history. And enter Mike. I feel like I'm in a fashion show. Mike is dressed in night vision goggles and in green and sporting a silenced pistol. He is wearing all of these things because Splinter Cell was a new and crazy cool thing at the time. Yes, I believe that is the first or second Splinter Cell, very early in the series. Very vintage stuff. And Michael actually looked like this. And now that all the players are on the table, we can get into the good stuff. Yeah, thanks for that, Ryan. Ooh, crafty high schooler breaking the narrative wall. Now this room has some really great decor. The first picture on your left is a picture of Dixon, and this is a larger version of it. Now the story of this picture is that Dixon was over at my house and we were all there, and we had an excess of blue twine, and we didn't know what to do with all this blue twine, and so we thought it would be a good idea to tie Dixon up to my dad's bench press, whatever you want to call it. So we tied him up to it, and we left him there. And this is the full picture of him, and I promise you, it was not as kinky as it looks. And then after that, we put a blanket over him, and I left him there for a while until he somehow managed to untie himself underneath that blanket. So that's the story of that picture. The second picture is a photograph of Ryan in the Boy Scouts, and he's stuffing his face full of something, and the caption on it that I don't know if you can read, but it says, future Halo nerd. So, and it was pretty much accurate. The Boy Scouts was a big reason that we all got together in the first place. We owe a lot of our good times and a lot of good memories to the Boy Scouts, and this is one of the early ones of us at a Hot Springs camp. There's Dixon, there's Michael, there's me, and there's Ryan. Aren't we just so cute? Monkeys. Now, why are there monkeys? And it's because Michael has this excellent phrase he likes to say that really permeates the soul on a deep level. And the sentence is, monkeys eat bananas. Just let that sink in for a second. That's why there are monkeys. And the scream that you hear when the monkeys finally attack is actually Michael's real voice. It's his actual scream. Is really one of my favorite parts of this whole video. It's just his and falling over. It's really great. The monkeys, on the other hand, were not voiced by actual monkeys. They were actually and most of the sound effects in this video were taken from the sound libraries of the Alien vs. Predator 2 video game. And the reason for that is because at the time I was doing a lot of level editing and I had access to all the resources of Alien vs. Predator 2, so I used all of the sound effects for the video. And so that's why they sound like crazy aliens and there's a lot of shooting and guns and it's really great. Worked really well. GoldenEye! What? Another narrative break and a massive graphics upgrade? Also note the Boards of Canada music, popularized by Salad Fingers.
What is this?
I have no idea.
Something Michael and Dixon like to bring up several times after finishing the video was how I got the dialogue lines mixed up, that Dixon should be saying, "What is this?" And Michael should be saying, "I have no idea."
What is this?
I have no idea.
They brought that up a number of times, but I don't really, whatever. Also take note of how everyone's dressed. Ryan is in his signature Charlie Brown t-shirt. Dixon is in his ever-present black jacket. And Michael and I are just kind of in common garb, but notice my hand positions that are much like a straight jacket. This was on purpose. This was a common pose that I held for many awkward moments. Ryan, in line with being obsessed with Halo, had a distinct obsession with Mountain Dew. And so, inversely, I countered with an obsession with Coca-Cola.
Hi, kids!
And the grand piece. Who is this random kid? Why is his face coming out and shouting at us to get out of here? This kid is actually a young Canadian that Dixon and I met on a band trip to Disneyland. We were with our friend Tamara and we were riding some watercraft ride, and we met these two younger Canadian kids who were riding around, and they had a crush on our friend Tamara, and so they went on the ride several times with us and just kind of followed us around. And so I took a picture for the memories, and then when it came time to do this video, I was like, I'm gonna use that kid's face for our video. And this is the actual picture of the actual kid and his friend, and that's it. So that's the Canada kid. And this here at the end is an Illuminati symbol worn by Jordan. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually just the Predator's targeting reticle. And lastly, this is the fake ending. This was supposed to lead into a second video that I was going to follow up with, but this is as far as I got with that. So that was a little slice of high school life. This was honestly one of the more productive things that we did in high school. Otherwise, we were just playing games, video games in the basement, or falling asleep trying to do other things. That or taking really bad album cover pictures. And while Ryan and I have grown apart, I mean, he did pull a gun on me, I'm still really close with Michael and Dixon. Even though I guess Michael pulled a gun on me too. But then who knows what happened in that explosion really, so who's to say? And I guess this animation isn't technically reality, I gotta keep reminding myself of that. Anyway, the significance of this animation and a few other videos that we made in high school, they just stand as a monument to the good times we had in high school. Which is one of the reasons I like to make videos, even in general, and just art, is that they provide nice little checkpoints along life that you can look back on and have a good laugh about and just remember these things. Because I would have forgotten a lot of these things, I'm sure, if we hadn't made this animation of crazy things. This has been a fond look to the past to remind you that pulling guns on your friends is a great idea, as long as it's an animation. And leaving with that, I'm going to say, good night. Things done. Bonus animation!
What is this?